Welcome to Chef Baby Love Kitchen. I'm your favorite chef, Chef Baby Love. Today we are going to cook egusi soup. Very tasty, very simple. I call it the king soup because I cook it in a very rich way that when you're expecting a visitor, you don't even need to be afraid to bring out your egusi. Let's get started. So this is the ingredients we need for the egusi soup. We're going to use goat meat today, dry fish and stock fish. We have the peppers, and we have the palm oil and the egusi and the kale leaf is what I'm going to use today. So we have our saucepan here. We put your goat meat in the pan. You pour your hot water over the goat meat. Let it be above 1 inch above the goat meat, and then you cover it and bring it to boil. Cook it for about 10 to 15 minutes or when your meat is tender and soft. And then while that is boiling, put your palm oil in your pan. It's just like if it starts showing the smoke, don't let it be hot. And then you can put your crayfish in there, your grounded crayfish, and just stir it. After stirring it, don't let it boil, do it on low fire, and then add your grounded pepper. The pepper is just red pepper and onions. Stir it together and combine it, and then cover it. You can see I didn't add any seasoning. So you cover it and then leave it for a minute or two and come back to it and stir it. When you stir it, then you can add your seasoning at this stage. So when you add your seasoning, then you stir it again, leave for a minute or two, depending on how low your gas is, and then you off the gas and set it aside. And then you come back to your boiling meat and see whether it's cooked. Because at this stage, I'm cooking my boiling meat for about 10 minutes or more now. So I'm going to check. Sometimes I check with the fork to see if the meat is tender to the softness I want. And if not, I leave it again to boil for another 5 to 10 minutes again, depending. But at this stage, I think I've got what I'm looking for. So I'm going to add my stock fish and then add my dry fish. My stock fish was soaked overnight in cold water, so it is tender. It opens up the hardness, so it's not as strong or hard as it looks. So I'm going to leave that to boil for another 5 minutes or more, and then I will check that. And then I can see that the water has gone down a little bit, so I'm adding up just a little water just to kind of keep it in that 1 inch above the meat at all time, so that you have a perfect texture. At this stage, you cannot add all your seasoning. Your pepper, I'm using dry pepper today. I'm not using the fresh pepper. So initially, I add my seasoning. I was using the atatashi with the onions, with the palm oil. So here I'm putting my dry pepper today. So I stir it and I leave it to boil for another 3 minutes, and to allow the flavors to to incorporate with one another, and so that you can enjoy the flavor of each one. So at this stage, I check my seasoning. So as I'm checking my seasoning, and if it's okay, that's fine. If it's not, I add more seasoning to it, and then I can now add my atatashi mix. The red pepper mixed with the crayfish that I fried few minutes ago. So I will stir it, and I'm going to leave that for another 3 minutes and to bring it to boil. Just leave it to be boiling there. While that is going on, I'm going to take my egusi and put it in a bowl. I'm going to mix it together with cold water for about 15 ml or more, depending on the big size of your egusi. But meanwhile, sometimes I put my egusi straight like that. But sometimes I love this because I don't want a smooth egusi. So I want the one that's kind of have a little bit of a sandy form. So I'm going to mix them together, combine them, and then put them in the pots. You can see that my water is always 1 inch above the meat. So I put and I cover it. I leave it to boil for like 3 minutes, and then I stir it together. I stir it and combine it and make sure that you can see that I don't need to add any water more again, because my water is always an inch. And then when I stir it, I check my seasoning again. So at this I'm going to add my leaf. It depends on the leaf you want to use. I'm doing kale leaf this today because it's a bit strong. I don't like this spinach in my food, or it would change the power. So sometimes I don't even add at all. So I'm checking my seasoning. And if I want to, if the seasoning is okay, that's fine. Then you serve your food. As you can see, this is the final production. This is the pounded yam here. And this is the egusi. Here I have the cauliflower swallow made with the scallops. So okay, try this at home and let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up. Thank you for watching.